Hello everyone and welcome back to another best of 3 in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 1 group stage. And we're still in Group D, excuse me, and we'll see another Night Elf versus Human. This time the Night Elf spawning here in the left spawn position of Echo As is ThomasG, the Danish player, and he starts with Ancient of War first, so a Tavern Hero build by him. This one's gonna be the Moonwell, so we'll definitely gonna have to keep an eye on what he's going to pick at the tavern eventually. And his opponent spawning in the right spawn position of Echo As is Insomnia, the human player from Bulgaria, who also starts with, you know, Altar first and Barracks. Well, I guess not also, because of course ThomasG didn't start with Altar first. Never mind, AM is coming for him, not very surprisingly, as well as the scout farm here in front of his base. And there's the Altar for ThomasG. Ancient of War about to finish, and I guess on Echo Isles there are plenty of possibilities for Tavern Heroes to build as Night Elf. But since the Ancient of War here is inside the base, you know, he'd want to have a Tavern Hero which can creep basically by itself with a couple of archers without Ancient of War support. So for example, the Panda isn't really a viable choice when building the Ancient of War like ThomasG did here. So I guess the only two heroes that really are a viable option with this opening are the Beastmaster and the Dark Ranger. And as mentioned, we'll keep an eye on what ThomasG is going to pick up here. Insomnia with the AM first is gonna start with some very conservative creeping, only going for the little green camp on the top of his own main base. And let's see what the hero is going to be. Altar has finished right now, and it is the Dark Ranger. Yeah, as mentioned, not particularly surprising, given that he doesn't have the Ancient of War to support bigger creep camps, you know, down here on the bottom of the map. Then again, it's a little bit more safe against tower pushes, obviously.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Then again, having Merc support against tower pushes can of course also be a huge help. And anyways, AM continues creeping. He's gonna get level 2 here. Dark Ranger, yeah, starts creeping as well, so a very passive early game here by both of the players. Nothing too thrilling happening, and Militia being pulled by Insomnia towards the bottom, so we'll probably see him go for the expansion right now. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Water Metal staying out of the way of this Wisp, just to make sure to not die to a detonate. Let's see if the Wisp is going to be saved here. No. So that one had to be detonated. The Water Metal coming here, as well as the expansion afterwards, I'm pretty sure. 4 archers and the Dark Ranger heading across the map here. No tower whatsoever in Insomnia's base so far. Tier 2 tech coming for ThomasG. And immediately Insomnia heading back up towards his base. Dark Ranger going in pretty aggressively here, but then again, you know, as long as he's got control over this gap, which he definitely has at the moment, he can do so. So first couple of Militia going down, some very nice positioning with the skeletons, but he's gonna have to pull out of the base right now as the AM and the Footmen are coming in. Actually, Dark Ranger should pull back here, taking way too much damage, immediately down to about 150 HP. Of course, the AM with the Claws of Attack and the Gloves of Haste also, yeah, very nicely equipped to deal with this kind of pressure. And actually, the Dark Ranger decides to go for a Life Drain instead of Silence as a second skill, therefore getting some HP back. So therefore, taking a bit of damage on the Dark Ranger makes a lot more sense. But still, Insomnia taking care of this harassment with ease at the moment. The 2 skeletons are gonna scout the expansion, which, you know, isn't going to be a big surprise to ThomasG, obviously, since he scouted the human army heading down there with the Wisp earlier on.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
See, the next archer is not going to fall thanks to some nice blocking by ThomasG, but maybe he's going to lose this one in return. Insomnia doesn't get the block done properly. Tier 2 tech soon gonna finish. Hunter's Hall maybe a tiny bit too late. Expansion is now coming for Insomnia, who's taken plenty of damage here, of course, economically, because he used Call to Arms and therefore didn't get any resources for a little while. So at least that's going into ThomasG's favor here. But other than that, not really a lot of damage done. I think like maybe 3 peasants or so have gone down, so not too much damage. And Insomnia is definitely gonna be able to live with how this harassment went. And now with the level 3 AM, that's the one problem of the Dark Ranger. If the human player gets the level 3 and is able to keep the game in the Night Elves half of the map, then it's very hard to apply pressure against the expansion. Defense finished already as well. First 2 archers have to be pulled back towards the Moonburst. There's still a bit of Moonshoes, but not too much remaining. And Insomnia is just winning so much time here with the level 2 watermantles, with the defense footman, with this AM, which is of course still well equipped. Plenty of scout farms by Insomnia all across the map. Naga second by ThomasG. So finally he might be able to chase down some of these footmen. First one is falling right now. Second one is gonna fall right afterwards, but no dark arrow used against that one, so no skeleton for ThomasG here. Hunter's Hall has finished. Tier 2 of course has finished as well. No Tier 2 buildings yet for the Night Elf player though, and with the Naga he might finally be able to repel this little bit of aggression here by his opponent. Now the Dark Ranger using life ray. Actually he should use the Moonveils here, I feel, and he barely does so in time. AM has to pull back as well. First Ancient of Law coming, and I guess that one is not going to be cancelled because the Footman's gonna fall in just a second, and the Lone Watermantle isn't gonna be able to provide enough damage output to cancel this Ancient of Law. So 1 tower up here, expansion running. Tier 2 just started for Insomnia, who towards the end of this harassment lost plenty of his footmen, so not really sure how much harassment potential he still has. But he definitely won a lot of time here. And until I guess even with the first couple of Dryads, there's not going to be too much that ThomasG is going to be able to do, because defense has already finished. Wisp going down here thanks to the creeps waking up. So yeah, of course with the Dryads he can dispel Watermantles, which is nice if Insomnia wants to keep the pressure up, which apparently he's going to try and do. He still has plenty of footmen actually. But applying pressure against the humans expansion or main base is going to be very hard, at least until the first bears arrive for ThomasG, which is still going to be a while. So at least the laws are up. Insomnia not able to cancel these. Maybe he could go for the shop if he wanted to, or just for the Dark Ranger, who's lacking healing right now because the Moonveils are empty except for this one, which has been newly built, and the shop isn't up yet. And this could actually turn out to be quite horrible for ThomasG, because yeah, the shop's gonna be cancelled. He's got 3 archers with low HP, 2 of them have already fallen, third one falling right now as well. Wisps are coming in to detonate. Actually one of them is being killed here before the detonate even comes in. Another archer is falling in. Even the 5th archer, if I counted correctly, is about to fall already. And actually it's quite questionable whether ThomasG is even going to be able to, you know, recover from this aggression here by Insomnia. The AM has to pull back right now, but there are still plenty of footmen roaming around the base. He's trying to go for the Dark Ranger, apparently maybe switching to the Naga with a surround here, and he successfully closes that one. So I guess this footman here on the top should be the target to take it down for ThomasG. He gets the kill, but he still has to pass the town port. Rejuvenation used on the Dark Ranger, which you know, is enough to get at least that one back to full HP for now, almost full HP, and the second rejuvenation goes onto the Naga. Panda second by Insomnia, okay. Not really agree with this choice, as all the low HP units of ThomasG have already fallen. So there's not really any archers remaining to take care of with a Breath of Fire potentially. There's only going to be bears, completely skipping the Dryads here, the Night Elf player is. But still, at this point, there's such a big advantage for Insomnia already. The arcanes are coming up. No blacksmith yet. And just look at the minimap. There are so many scout farms everywhere on the map. Scout tower here, just to keep track of wisps passing by here to build the expansion. Possibly even an expansion building. And of course to see where ThomasG might creep. Yeah, and as this tower has gone down, Insomnia just immediately replaces it with another one. Of course, he doesn't want to allow a counter expansion to come into play for ThomasG, because, you know, if he did so, then there would maybe still be a way for ThomasG to get back into this game. Well, for now he's got a decent number of bears, but of course he's got the economic disadvantage. And therefore, the aim of Insomnia is definitely going to be to just overwhelm him eventually with a huge number of units. And since at the moment we don't see any dryads, there is no need to build a workshop with that. So you can just rely basically solely on breakers and casters. Tower even being upgraded. Is he gonna add more? I guess it's just going to save his peasant for now. Hero wise, 3-2 for ThomasG. He's gotten himself a new town portal as well as the staff of preservation. Let's see, what's he's getting here? Wind of illusion. Well, could be somewhat useful to get 3 additional bears in future fight, level 4 and 2.5 for Insomnia. He could get the panda up to level 3 if he wanted to, if he pulls the IEM away from this creep camp, which apparently he's going to do. Yeah, more and more units being produced here, plenty of breakers, a depth upgrade for the Sorks coming, priests are still initiate. And yeah, there's the counter expansion, but the tower just finishes for Insomnia, and therefore this expansion isn't going to get too far. Yeah, level 3 for the Panda IEM with another clause of attack +6 is going to be doing a huge load of damage here. And actually it looks like ThomasG is trying to apply some pressure here. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, not doing all that much against the bears, but still it's some decent damage output, and there is no way ThomasG at the moment can fight against this army of Insomnia. And I guess the options for him are really running out. I guess this match is a bit similar to two more wisps killed here, to Fire DE against who was it? Nightwolf, I believe, on Echo Isles, where Fire also had a big economical advantage in the mid game, and he also faced this Dark Ranger first playstyle by Nightwolf, and Nightwolf also made great use of the fact that the base wasn't closed like it is here, and that there weren't a lot of towers. But then again, in this case, Insomnia already has gathered so many units. It's not like if he would take a huge beating economically, he wouldn't be able to gather a sufficient number of units. He already has. He's up at 74 supply. He's got the levels. He's pretty much got the items here, upgrade wise, 1-0 on the breakers. So he's already got everything he needs. So I guess this kind of approach that Nightwolf took against Fire D isn't really an option anymore here for the Night Death player. So Drunken Haze, let's see, Breath of Fire coming in as well. The Panda, of course, very fast with the Boots of Speed. Naga has already taken plenty of damage, and there are so many breakers. Also no upgrades for ThomasG. First bear has to be staffed, but this is not a fight ThomasG can win. He doesn't have the town portal anymore, and yeah, therefore he's just gonna lose everything here as it appears. Fog Lightning coming in. Naga also level 3 in the meantime, but there's the GG already by ThomasG. Insomnia, yeah, very clearly winning here on map 1. Yeah, the initial harassment with the Dark Ranger and a couple of archers didn't really do too much to Insomnia. It delayed him slightly, but his counter aggression was just so effective, twice actually. The first time, ThomasG wasn't able to produce his lures. He took plenty of damage already. He especially lost a lot of time during that first aggression, and then I didn't really keep track of Insomnia's production, but he kept producing a lot of footmen and therefore was able to do even more damage with that second aggression, killing so many archers and totally eliminating every chance for ThomasG to either get aggressive or to counter expand quickly. And after that, the advantage was already so huge for Insomnia that he basically just had to finish the game, which he did very safely. Therefore, he's taking the lead here. And on Tarina's stand, ThomasG is going to have to try to tie the series.